Okay, I'm going to try video a different way. So, I was tired of the way I was making videos, so I'm going to try a different way. Alright, find the change in Y. That went down 12. That went up 4. We went down 9. Up 3. So, alright. You get negative 12 over 4. It's the same as negative 9 over 3. They both come out to negative 3. It says find B using point and M in point slope. Okay, the option 2 is you could try to keep, now that you know the change in Y over X, you could keep the table going, but here's option 1. Okay, take an ordered pair, let's say 2, negative 1, and use point slope. So that's, I think the resolution's making the lag worse. Let's try back to 800. Okay, you go Y minus Y1, so that always turns into a plus. You take that slope, and you do X minus X1, and so take the opposite of 2. Okay, now you can get it slope intercept. Subtract 1, you get this way I can rest my arm. Okay, option 2. You could go up 1, down 3, down 3, and there you could find B is 5. It's really up to you. Okay, step 1. Okay, that jumped up. It'd take 26 to get to 0, and then 4 more. So that's a jump up of 30. That jumped up 6. Now on a horizontal, that went up 15. Now on a horizontal table, you got to remember, hey, I got to put the change in Y up here, and I got to put the change in X down here. So I got 30 over 6, which is 5 over 1, 15 over 3, 5 over 1. Use point slope. So it doesn't matter what ordered pair you pick. I'm going to pick 2, 4, and label it. So you want to go Y. The opposite of 4 is negative 4. You take that slope we got. Then you can go to slope intercept. Option 2. Okay, I have 2, 4. Okay, so it'd be minus 5 this way. Did I do something wrong? Okay, so I'm going to take that back 1, take that back 1. So minus 1. Then I could go, if it's plus 5 this way, I could go minus 5 that way. And there's B. Point slope's easier. Okay, change in Y, change in X. Remember to flip it like that. So M is, okay, you're getting 10 closer to 0. You're getting 5 closer to 0. Here, just to make sure it's constant, 6 over, that jumped up 3. So M is 2. Okay, that's not the, so point slope. And so M is 2, and let's use 2, 0. Okay, Y minus 0, that's just Y. And then you got the slope, which was 2, and we're going to go X, and the opposite of X1, or negative 2, is negative 2. Now we can go slope intercept. Okay. Okay, option 2. We can make an XY table. We know negative 1, negative 6. We know as the Y's go up 2, the X's go up 1. So there's B. However, you can find that where X is 0, that's the Y-intercept. Ooh, write it as an ordered pair. See, the Y-intercept here was 0, negative 6. Okay, I'm going to have to put the homework problems up in 4 minutes. Finish this after school. Okay, how much did that drop? Oh, that dropped 28. How much did that go up? That went up 7. Ooh, that dropped 16. That went up 4. So remember, changing Y up top, changing X on bottom. So I got negative 28 over 7. It's negative 4 over 1, and it's consistent. I'm going to use 2, negative 3. You can use any point you want. So Y, the opposite of negative 3 is positive 3. So you go opposite Y. M stays the same. X, and then opposite X1. Get it in slope intercept. Okay, option 2. Option 2. We got 2, 1, 0, 2, negative 3. Now, okay, oopsie. Let me get, oh man, where's my whiteout when you need it? Oh, found it. No, that was not the sound of my headphones. Went the wrong way. Alright, option 2. Let's That's what happens when you make a mistake. Okay, so we know the reason I made it wrong is we got 2, 1, 0. Okay, if we went this way, it'd be -4 and it'd be +1. Okay, if I go back 1, I add 4. This is why I don't like this technique. Add 4. So B, Y, intercept, 0, 5. Okay, so there's 2 types of point slope. This is type 1. Oops. So I should have wrote it there. That's a typo. It's too late to fix it. I can't waste copies. Okay, this is in type 1. So you got opposite x, opposite y for the point. And the slope is -1/2. Okay, this one's like this type, where it's opposite x, same y. Maybe I can reprint these. There's also a mistake where I underlined all those. I'll just make new. Okay, so this one's opposite, same. It's on that right side. The slope's still 2/3. Okay, this is type 1, so opposite of whatever's with x, opposite of whatever's with y. Okay, this one's opposite. When the y's on this side, it's same. So opposite, same. Slope still -5. Okay, this is type 1. I'll just tell y'all to fix that and not waste copies. Okay, y'all will be here in 12 minutes. I think I can get this row done. So this would be opposite, same. Okay, this is opposite. When the y's on this side, it's same. Okay, this one is so that's like +0. So 0, opposite, -1. Okay, this is opposite, opposite. Slope's -6. Okay, I have to get the homework problems up. Finish this later. Catch y'all later. Okay, made a mistake on the last one. We're going to do rise over run. I'm going to try to best prepare you for this quiz tomorrow, and I'll try not to write so loud. Okay, so we got to rise up 1. We got to run 2. Okay, what is the point slope equation? It's y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. Okay, when you see minus in a formula, that means do the opposite of whatever y is, and this means do the opposite of whatever x is. So you could write technically 2 different ones from this one, and I'm trying to not be loud, so x1.
Okay, so I'm going to start with y. Now, a negative in front of y1 means take the opposite of y1. So what's the opposite of negative 3? 3. Okay. I'm going to go back. I'm going to reprint them anyway. So here, I think on 29, I'm going to have you use type 1. Okay. Now, slope. Okay, that's what we found in step 1. Okay, so here's step 1. We found m. So m stays like it is. And then x. And then I want the opposite of x1. So I go plus 1. Alright. On the second one, I think on 30, I'm going to make y'all do type 2. Okay. We use the same m, except they're all equivalent forms. So again, in the formula, I do the opposite of y1. And then x, and then opposite x. So what's the opposite of 1? Negative 1. Okay, now it says convert one of them to slope-intercept. So if there's 2 of them, depends on which one you use. So I'll do this one in red. Now, sometimes you have to deal with fractions. I know you don't want to, but if you distribute that 1/2 across, I get 1/2 x plus 1/2. Now, we know 1/2 is 0.5, so right now you'd have to subtract 3. And see, this is why you want point slope, is because when you try to get it in slope intercept, you have to know what a half minus negative 3 is. So it's really a half minus 6/2. That's really what we're doing. So it'd be negative 5/2 or negative 2.5. Okay, so that's why you need to know point slope. Is sometimes the b, and you can see on the graph, b right here, you can see b is negative 2.5. It looks like, so we know exactly where that one's going. And just in case you chose this one, if you chose the other one, then move on with the video. So here I get y plus 2 equals 1/2 x minus 1/2, because multiply the numerators and denominators. And see here you can subtract 2. So you still get that negative 2.5. I think it's cool that we get all this information from a simple graph. Like all I did was graph a line on a graph and look at all that we got from it. Okay. On 30, okay, I think I'm going to make you write type 2 to get used to it. So up at the top, I'm going to say type 2, which is y equals m x minus x1 plus y1. So it's just a derivation of this one. All I did was add 1y to both sides. So I think in the directions I'm going to make you do type 2. Okay, and this is fall over run. Okay, the change in y, because we're traveling on the y-axis, was down 2. And the change in x is on the x-axis. Okay, I get negative 2/6. Divide top and bottom by 2, and m is negative 1/3. Okay, for type 2, I think I can fit it up here. Okay, for type 2, you go y equals m x minus x1, and all we're doing is adding y1 to the right side. I need to shrink those words. Okay, I'm making my own worksheet. Okay, so when it's in type 2, we do opposite of x1, but we keep y1, just, you don't do the opposite. Whatever y1 is it. Okay, m is negative 1/3. So if we put it in type 2, it's still y equals m. It's still x, and then opposite x1, so x plus 3. And when it's in this form, when I brought plus y1 to the right side, it says plus whatever y1 is. Well, y1's negative 1. I wonder if I could fit that in under m. Yeah, I think I could. Okay, I'll fix it. All right, type 2 again. We use the same m, x, and now we need opposite x1. That's a 1, not a 7. And then y1 stays the same. I'm going to choose this equation to solve for y, because the video can't take 10 years. Okay, y equals negative 1/3 x. Now, how do I multiply negative 1/3 by 3? That would be negative 3 over 3 minus 1. Negative 1/3 x minus 1 minus 1. So you can see b is right there. So it worked.
Okay, as I was making this worksheet, okay, these are example problems. So as you're moving on into the packet, you can come back here. Okay. So read this one. Read this example before you do this question. So I built example problems in. Okay, Mr. Gadget's car broke down. I thought you guys would struggle on this part of the quiz because we've never directly practiced it, but you could probably do it. Mr. Gadget's car broke down on the turnpike. Acme Towing charged $50 plus $4 per mile to tow the car. Write an equation that shows the relationship between C, the total amount charged, and M, the total number of miles towed. So C is really Y as we know it, and M is really X. Okay, so this right here, that's an A-rock statement. So we know A-rock is M, and Y equals MX plus B. Okay, so we know that's A-rock because it's 50 per mile. And this right here, this is the Y-intercept, or we know it as B. So the equation we would be used to is Y equals 4X plus the Y-intercept. Okay, but what they've done is they've changed what Y represents and what X represents. So C is the total cost of towing your car, and it's $4 per mile, and M is in the place of X, and then plus the y-intercept. Okay, what is the independent variable? We know the independent variable is X, okay? So, in this case, we're talking about M, okay? So, miles total miles, or wait, okay, this is the total miles towed, car is towed. So total miles car is towed. The total miles car is towed. Okay, what's the dependent variable? The total amount charged for the tow. Okay, what does the point 2850 mean? Well, this is X, which is miles towed, and this is technically Y. It costs $850? Jeez. Okay. So, this is a true story I made up. It's supposed to be 130. Oops. No, wait. Yeah, it's supposed to be 130. So, fixaroo. If you tow the car 20 miles, it costs 130. Okay. Question 32. You're running on a track T. Okay, so this question, so if you need an example, go back to the PALS question, and it'll help you solve this problem. Okay, there's two ways. You could make an XY table. 1 minute, 300 feet. 3 minutes. You're moving kind of slow, 600 feet. I should do seconds. Should I change it to seconds on the spot? Yeah, because that makes more sense. Alright, I changed it on the spot to seconds. Oops. Say 1 second. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I need to fix that. Good thing I made this video. I made a lot of mistakes. Okay, so I'm going to change this to seconds. Yeah, if you travel 300 feet in 2 minutes, yeah, right. That's pretty slow. Okay, so here we go. Change in Y, change in X, went up 300 in 2 seconds. That means you go 150 feet per second. Okay, option 2. You could make ordered pairs and do the slope formula. It's up to you. Okay, it says use ordered pair 1-300. I need to tell you which type. That's what I'll do. And down here I'll give you the... No, I don't think I can fit it on there. So this is X, this is Y. So Y minus 300 equals the slope 150 X minus 1. So, or you could add that 300. It's up to you. Felicia paid $125 to join a tennis club. She pays an additional $5 every time she uses one of the club's tennis courts. Write a slope-intercept equation that describes her total cost for playing tennis. C for the number of times she plays tennis. T. Okay, so to us we know y equals mx plus b, but they switch y for c, and it wants mt plus b. So okay, I made a mistake. We write the equation there. Okay, so I need to go. Okay, so it's like y equals mx plus b, except they change y to c and x to t. So, okay, one of these represents A rock. So $5 every time. That's A rock, which is M. And this is B. This is the y-intercept. So we know this is y equals 5x plus 125. But they want you to use C instead of y for the cost. And they want you to use t instead of x. That's how they make it a harder question. Okay, the independent variable is x or t, and t stands for number of times she plays tennis. Okay, what is the dependent variable? Y or C in this case? Total cost to play tennis. Okay, so what does 5375 mean? It means if she plays tennis 50 times, it would cost $375. Okay, this is too long, mainly because I'm making it. I'm going well into, this probably won't take y'all that long. Okay, write a slope-intercept. Okay, so I made an example here for you. Write a slope-intercept equation from the table using P for amount paid and H for the number of hours worked using 0.5165. So you can see I did change in Y over X, and I got $10 per hour. And they want to, so like this is X and this is Y really. They just use different variables. So when you try this one, this is X, this is Y. Okay. So just keep that in mind while you're doing this. Okay, write a point slope equation from this situation using pair 5, 200. Well, we got to find M. I didn't give you enough space. Make those words smaller. push that up. Okay, I'm talking to me about my worksheet because I didn't give you a place to do this. Okay, 100 feet, change in X. That's 20. So M is 20 feet per second. Okay, it says write a point slope equation from the situation using the ordered pair. So we're using T for X and we're using distance for Y. So it'd be D minus the opposite, or D opposite Y. And then M, we got it 20. Instead of X, we're using T. And then opposite 5. Independent variable is time in seconds. It's the one we control, X or T in this case. The dependent variable is the distance in feet. Okay, that stands for seconds, feet. After 25 seconds, you traveled 600 feet. Okay, you're on a trip, so let's find rate of change. At 1 hour, you've gone 300 miles. After 4 hours, you've gone 150 miles. Oh, I read that wrong. I'm tired. Taught all day, 150 miles. You could do the slope formula, but I'm out of space. You traveled 150 miles in 3 hours. So that'd be 50 miles an hour. So this would be, so y minus 300 equals 150, x minus 4. Change that spelling. What's the independent variable? It's the one we control. And in this case, it's dependent variable is y, is this total distance traveled. Okay, a sunflower in Rosario's garden was 12 centimeters tall when planted, so that's B, the y-intercept. It has grown 6 centimeters per day, so that's A rock. Okay, write an equation expressing the sunflower's height h, which is basically y, and the days since it's been planted, that's basically x. So the height of the tree is, it's growing 0.6 centimeters per day, and it was 12 when we planted it. Days since planting. The dependent variable is y, or h, which is height of tree. Okay, instead of X, it's telling us to use days. For Y, it's telling us to use 18. So we do H minus 18 equals 0.6 V minus 10.